The deck of U-156 suddenly turned into a scene of absolute chaos. Designed for a German crew of just 50, the submarine was swarmed within hours by over 400 soaking wet, freezing British, Italian, and Polish survivors. German sailors were giving their own dry clothes and hot soup to the very passengers of the ship they had just sunk. Commander Hartenstein took the situation so seriously that he draped a massive Red Cross flag across the submarine's conning tower. Shortly after, 2 more German U-boats and an Italian submarine arrived, responding to Hartenstein's unencrypted radio distress call. In the middle of the ocean, 4 Axis submarines tied the lifeboats together to save hundreds of enemy civilians, creating a makeshift floating island. Everything seemed like a miracle born in the midst of war. That was, until the terrifying roar of engines echoed from the sky. A 4-engine American B-24 Liberator bomber appearing in the sky, panic on the deck, and exploding bombs. On the morning of September 16th, the miracle turned into a nightmare. A massive American B-24 Liberator bomber appeared in the sky. Commander Hartenstein sent English Morse code messages so the aircraft could see the Red Cross flag and the civilians on deck. A rescued British officer even fired a flare at the plane to signal that they were friendly. The American pilot reported the situation to his base. German submarines are waiting on the surface, surrounded by British lifeboats. Red Cross flags are flying. However, the order from the American base proved once again just how ruthless and blind war could be. Sink the subs! The American aircraft went into a dive and dropped its bombs directly onto the submarines conducting the rescue operation, their decks swarming with civilians. One of the bombs took a direct hit on a lifeboat full of women and children. U-156 was heavily damaged. The lifeboats left helpless in the sea as the submarine slowly dives, the dark and cold face of war. There was nothing left for Hartenstein to do. His submarine was taking on water, and he had to save his own crew. In tears and absolute despair, he gave the order for an emergency dive, abandoning the British he had just saved from death back to the mercy of the ocean. French ships later arrived at the scene and picked up the survivors, but hundreds of civilians perished in the ocean because of that bombardment. Following this tragic event, the commander of the German Navy, Admiral Karl Dönitz, issued the infamous directive that went down in history as the Laconia Order. No attempt of any kind must be made at rescuing members of ships sunk. Commander Hartenstein paid a very heavy price for showing mercy to his enemy. The small light of humanity he ignited in the darkness of war was brutally extinguished by the bombs raining from the sky. But history never forgot this honorable German knight of the sea who risked his own life to save his enemies in the middle of the ocean.